Holy Tweezer Batman. Welcome back to Wook Plus, the After Phish After Show.
Somebody needs to read the tuba and tell me what the electrical tape says, because that's the band's name.
The tuba.
I can't see it. It's too far away.
Kev, you're going to bring this up every after show because you're going to make me reveal my dirty secret. That band at Dick's was not the band that's playing the audio track. The audio track was recorded at MSG after the show, but I like the footage from Dick's better. But, fine. Let's put it out there.
The magic of Hollywood.
But neither one of them are the actual
Showbiz.
reverse band.
Nothing is real.
So, like, basically, the one at Dick's is like the Monkees, and somebody else just played the
It
music.
sounds like the one at Dick's, though. It does, because they were playing that also, like, as they were walking through. So I don't know. You could have fooled me.
I would have if Kev didn't keep bringing it up.
For Kevin.
For more
God
gripping
damn it,
content, make sure you.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys want to even talk about the rest of this show?
Yes, let's talk about the first set. There was some.
We can look through it. It was quick.
We will. We'll go through it.
I wanted to start with
since 2019 that they hadn't played that.
The whiff,
so
right?
That was
And
nice.
that curtain was butchered in the beginning. My God, they sounded like they were playing 3 different songs.
It did. I thought it was also the audio too was a little jacked. Like it was all. Yeah, I agree. It was not great.
Bad case of the Mondays. It actually felt like a tour opener. The first set. That was kind of what I expected from Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then the Carini was nice, dedication, and I thought it had a great little micro jam in it. Like it was going somewhere. It was really nice. It was fun. It found a little groove, and then done.
Yeah,
all of these dreams.
Terrible ripcord, but it was nice.
Dude, like third song, third in the hole, and we're getting
cool down. That Carini was
hot. Cool down song after, like that was weird. That was
the curtain isn't like a rocker. The whole width part is like the slowest thing they have in their catalog.
It was an interesting
choices.
And then Stash
kicked it in a little.
Flying through the first set. He's just like, let's get to the good shit.
We want to get through it, right? Like there's not a lot. We know where we're going. We know where the meat is on this bone.
Well, I mean, I did want to stop for a second and the shout out to Frenchie. I thought that was kind of neat, and it's kind of, I don't know, like I didn't know the guy personally, but we were all together watching him. Like, Kevin, you sat next to me when he was running around on the field and butt ass naked, and we were literally next to each other looking at this guy, and it's just crazy to fast forward a year and this, everything that happened. But all right, fuck it, let's go to Stash. It was weird. I don't
know. Stash has been a pretty consistent above average hitter for 4.0. I can't think of one that they didn't get some nice spaces out of. It even
played a lot too, so it's definitely gotten its practice in and should be. So I feel like it makes a lot of appearances these days.
What a weird ass set. Sent halfway to the moon. It's like, Jesus.
And then another. I consider that a slow one. I consider that another cool down song.
Well, an unnecessary cool down.
Yeah, unnecessary cool down.
And then finally we got our Mike's Mull,
and it was a shorty. It wasn't.
I gotta say though, after the release of Tilting and the getting a better sense of what his concept was for that album and the style of it, Mull actually I think is better for it, right? Like I actually appreciate Mull a little bit more having seen Tilting, because it really, I think the two kind of feel like they're cut from the same cloth, and it feels like it's going to be a really cohesive album that comes out. So I don't know. I like it. I still think he stretches out of his. I don't know why he does that. Why he gets the upper register. It just sounds not great, but it's a very cool song. Yeah, Mull's
about tacos. Yeah, I thought for sure it was tomorrow because it was tacos.
Is Mull about tacos?
There's a line in it about ordering tacos or something. Yeah,
I had no idea.
And he has to mull it over.
Did Llama write that song? What the fuck?
Does Llama know about that? Interesting.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a really cool.
Yeah, and then Undermine, which I usually love, that's usually one of my favorites. It was pretty good, but I don't know. I was we're allowed to be hard on the first set because we're about to fluff all over the second set. But I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I was kind of like, what the fuck's going on here tonight?
Strange placement.
Weird placement coming out of mall.
I
Okay.
don't know.
All
Yeah.
right, and then theme. I knew it was going to be the last set just because how long they've been on. So that's a weird set closer.
It
was
is.
nice.
It was
Theme, like,
nice. It was the
Nashville is-
second song that had a nice jam in it. I thought
Right.
like it had the end of it really, again, was going. Like again to your point, Tim. It felt like an opening set of a tour with some of these like sort of stretching out, just sort of like, oh yeah, okay, we know where we can go with some. And it was just weird. And I think maybe they were thrown off by the time thing and coming out late, and like the whole thing was a little
And the
just
lines, the long lines, and people not
getting
being able
in,
to
so
get
that
in.
like delayed them a half hour, 40 minutes or whatever it was.
And
So
all the
like
tarps.
maybe just kind of fucked with everything, and it just because then
Might have just thrown them looking out on the crowd, all the tarps. They were
all
like,
the
"What's
tarps,
going
all
on
the
out here."
GA, man, it's crazy Wild West out there.
West
Right.
Coast Phish.
But
And
you know,
it's-
if that's what's needed that first set in order to get what we got in the second set, I'll take it. And I honestly, with the rough fourth quarters we've been getting, and that I would way rather it be a slow start and just completely raging like it did. I think this would be the best way to see a show. I mean,
But
I guess
before
I'd
we-
tell it
before-
all be good, but
Well, let's just say too, the best way to avoid having a bad fourth quarter is just kind of skip the fourth quarter. When you're only doing like a 4-song second set, there's not really, you're kind of just like third quarter, we're out.
But before we get into that, everybody like, subscribe. If you're watching this later, make sure you leave a comment. Tomorrow, Wednesday, and for the LA shows, we'll be doing the after show. Wednesday, we're going to be on at 7:30 to around 9, because obviously the band doesn't come on till 9:30. And we're bringing the lot back, and we're going to have Chatty Chew come on with us and hang out. So it's going to be a real old school thing. Maybe do some drinking games, maybe some baseball cards, who knows. But make sure you check that out.
yeah, we should bring back all the old drinking games. It's
We
gonna be
should.
great. And then that recap afterwards is just gonna be a mess. Like, I don't know. Kev said radiators like 400 times. I missed the first set.
Pass out and not wake up for the show. No, like have.
Yeah, no,
Nobody will be here for the after show.
Exactly.
All right. So my soul, and I tweeted, this show just keeps getting weird. I was like, they opened the second set, my soul, but I like my soul personally. I know people have issues. I think
I don't know
groove
anybody
drop
that
is
has
good.
issues with my soul. I think it's a
Oh,
great
go on
song.
Twitter. Somebody does. There's people.
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
remember who
Yes,
was.
of course, on Twitter. But I thought it was a weird opening. Like it doesn't always open. It's always usually somewhere second, third.
Second song.
Yeah,
and
somewhere in there. So it's kind of an odd placement to open with it. I thought,
ended
okay,
the
that's
first
kind of
set.
right. Right, which again, to your point, was kind of like this show is very oddly constructed. And then it's one of those things that we said like in the chat, like, what do you do though when everything's kind of going off the rails? Call in a tweezer. Like that
Yeah.
fixes everything, right? Like just call it in and
Get us
okay,
somewhere comfortable.
we'll get right here real quick.
Yeah, and I mean, it
did.
really did. And it's funny because, like, obviously everybody's going to be talking about the length of it. I think what a clock in at 45, 44 minutes.
44, yeah, is what it has.
Yeah,
44 and
but
change.
I thought it was very strong right out the gate. And even if they had cut it at that like 25, 30, or even like the 20-minute mark, I think it would have been considered really great tweezer. They just kept upping the ante.
Well,
It's like great segment after great segment. Even into the woos, which I'm normally not a big lover of the woos, but I mean, like, it was kind of like an Easter egg or a nod to Tahoe Tweezer and a very similar construction. And they didn't stay on it too long. They fucked with it. They laughed. They would wink and nod, and then they moved on, which was great.
They did a slow grind. It reminded me of the album, how it like slowed down, and then boom, they went darn, they hit it. Some people were saying it was reprise. Hi, Jason. Then I thought that was it. I thought that they would pick up another song. You'd get your Set Your Soul Free or something, but they
After
did
the
the whole
grind
other
and-
jam that was another 15 minutes.
Yeah, there was about 2 or 3 different times, especially before it got even into the 20-minute zone where you're like, please don't stop. Like, please don't come out. Like, keep going. Like, see where this goes. And he did. And then once you got a little bit deeper in it, you were kind of like, all right, now I think he's kind of in it for the long haul. Let's see where we're going to take this thing. And it was really.
I didn't even realize how long it was until Phish got back on the Marimba Luma, and then I was like I pulled back and oh, what the fuck? And then I looked at the time, and you know what? When I saw it was Phish from the Road Tweezer like 38 minutes ago or something. I was like, wait, what?
Can we send a shout out to Fishman's Drum Tech for all the hauling around the Marimba Loomba? He finally did it tonight, so
he did it. It's like we always say with the guy
like 2 minutes.
The megaphone is always on stage every show because you never know when he's going to play Fee, so you got to have that thing out there every show. But yes,
I heard it has its own suitcase, foam sets in it.
I would imagine you don't want to fuck up the megaphone.
No, it's got to be in good shape.
But you mentioned MSG. Oh, I mean, you mentioned the Tahoe tweezer, and I got some. In the Simple, I got some MSG tweezer from 19 when they got into the bliss part of Simple there.
Yeah. There were a couple callbacks I felt. Well, I don't know if they're callbacks or just common themes that like show up in these types of jams, but I was feeling that too. And a little bit of a sense from the Ruby Waves too. I don't know. Like there
was like, Chest Fever for a little bit in there.
Yeah. There's some like things that come out and when they get into these really comfortable long jams, and I don't know, I'll have to go back and re-listen and actually compare tapes directly and see how similar it actually is, or if, it's just an illusion created by that.
So where a hasty ranking, where do you put that tweezer compared to the top tweezers?
I mean, I really high, probably up there with MSG and Tahoe. But I don't know. I overcorrect for Night of hype, right? Like every time we do this, I'm always like, oh, it's so fucking good. And then the next day I'm like, it was all right.
Fourth longest song that the band has ever played, not counting ambient set, tower jam, that kind of thing.
Size doesn't matter, Kev. It doesn't matter how long it is.
But
it has to be a good, jam.
But it also doesn't not matter because Trey is like the biggest critic of a jam more than any of us. And if a jam's not going somewhere, he's the first to know it, and that's why he ripcords
take it out. Yeah.
So like the fact that he was just so in it and so comfortable,
he was smiling, he was loving it.
Not even a hint of like we're gonna get out of it. They were comfortably in it for over 40 minutes.
Little stop start, reminiscent of 97 with some funk with the
What was that? The Soul Planet in 21 was out west too, right? You were at that show, the 40 like 8-minute Soul Planet.
Oh, Shoreline,
yeah. The West gets a lot of love. Jesus Christ,
a lot of long jams, a lot of big jams for sure. It's
that whole California attitude, just laid back,
West Coast Phish.
Mind on my money on my mind.
Fine, West Coast bias. It's nice. It's good to see. It's good to hear. It's nice, but yeah. And to your point, Sam, then he turns around and gets right back into another jam in Simple, and then takes that one somewhere too. So it's back to back, heavy hitters, like big jams. A lot of jams
with the awesome segue too. Didn't try to overstate the end of Tweezer. They were just like, here we are, fucking great 44-minute jam, and then segued beautifully into Simple and just kept it going. Really, I mean, that's like, what does that add up to, Kev? Do you have that total time between those
64 minutes, 63.
Yeah, that's total. Wild. That is absolutely wild.
And Simple has just in 4.0, most of the ones I can think of off the top of my head have a really nice dark place in it. And they got there with this again instead of it being, all bliss jam, which I like that they have embraced that. And so now when
Did they even sing all of the verses for Simple? Because it felt like
it might have been unfinished.
Well, I feel like they just went almost instantly back into the jam. Yeah, I don't even remember, but I feel like thinking back on it, it was like right back into the jam. It was it was awesome. Yeah. And then I feel like they could have closed it as a 3-song set, which would have been like unique and like a thing, but I really like the move of closing out with rock and roll and giving that big, rager finish to a really great set.
Simple would have needed another 3 or 4 minutes if you wanted to go 3-song set.
Yeah, and I mean they probably could have pretty easily,
Besides,
but
everyone on Twitter jinxed it by saying 3-song set, 3-song set.
well, that's
Or
why
just gone
during
back into
Tweezer I wasn't saying
Tweezer.
shit.
Just gone back into Tweezer and then ended it there.
Yeah.
Or
after
like
that.
even reprise right in the first set.
Yeah, nah, a reprise would have been sweet, like to end the first set, kind of like that old school, like not even doing any encore.
Yeah, that would have been sick. I
That
guess
was fun.
now what we'll likely get it on Wednesday night.
Oh yeah,
Hope so.
definitely. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
rock and roll was straightforward, type 1. Boom. It seemed like Page was eager to get out of it.
Yeah, I know. He
it
kind of
was
came in
all-
early with the vocals
yeah.
at the end and was kind of looking over at him, and Trey was still ready to rip. Like he was like, "No, not yet. Let's keep going." You're like, "Wait, what?" So yeah,
I
was
wonder
funny. I
what
noticed that
the fine is. Do we know what the penalty for going over that hard deadline? Because
It's different by each jurisdiction.
no,
In
I
Deer
know, I
Creek,
know,
right?
but I've never
No.
seen them be that like out front with they've had hard deadlines at other venues. We've
Right.
like Merriweather, they always have one like in other ones, but like this one, they were like, you better fucking get out. Like there was
but
not
it's
even
like on campus, like right there. So if they're not, I don't know if they're on spring break, but if they're not on spring break, and there's like
No way they're on
people
spring
living
break.
right there and like school and shit.
yeah, there's
so
like
I can
dorms
see-
and shit.
yeah, like all that's right there. So yeah.
I wonder if that was like they were like had like nerves about it, and like Paige wasn't looking at the clock, and he's like, "Shit, let's just get out. I don't want to."
Sometimes
I don't
I
wanna
think
cut it
Wrap
close
it
to
up.
sometimes that happens, and then you end up with like a Yem encore or something like that because they're like, "Well, we got 25 minutes now. What do we do?"
Well, it kind of happened tonight, right?
Yeah.
That sand was like what 8 to 10. I don't actually have the time.
10
but
minutes,
yeah,
or
it felt
so.
about 10 minutes.
And Miss You was Miss You. People
It
like
was
that
Miss
song.
You.
People like that song.
It was. Do they?
I think
I
some
I
people
don't
do.
love it. I mean,
I
Do
just-
you?
It's very personal, and it just doesn't. I'm not comfortable with because I know what it's about. It just makes me,
I'm uncomfortable with your emotions, Trey.
I am, dude. I don't want to hear about that, man. It's cool, and I understand the grieving process and all, but whew.
Yeah, no, I mean,
what
I get all
there
that.
there were some Miss You teases in Carini.
Yeah, well, that's what people were saying was like it was
Oh, there
another
were.
nod to Frenchie.
Yeah, there were.
No, but I mean, like the fact that they did it in the
Oh,
encore
they're
too,
right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of
because
course.
the
Yeah, yeah.
Carini it was for Frenchie, but and I get all that, and I mean it's beautiful, and like I'm happy for whatever, but like I just as a song and as like the energy in the set, it's not my cup of tea. But honestly, what I was thinking was you could do literally anything after that second set, and it wouldn't matter. Like it was,
So they should have busted out Show of Life, is what you're saying.
I wouldn't have been thrilled about it, but I also still would be raving about this show. Like I mean, it's that good. That Tweezer was that good. Yeah, actually, Kev, I will go back and put that Tweezer up at the top of the modern age. Like I'm not gonna go over.
Like there's the Bozeman Tweezer and the Banger Tweezer, and
yeah, and Bomb
they're
Factory,
both really long, but there's parts of them that are tedious because the band's still finding their way. I think something like the one tonight is superior because they were locked in the whole way.
So you thought that tonight's was like really high up there?
Yeah, I think top 5 of Tweezers they've done. Yeah, Phish is going to phone it in this year. It's the 40th anniversary, and they're just going to be like, whatever.
Okay, that's good. I mean, I'm glad we didn't have to wait long for that.
Oh man.
No, I agree with you though. Yeah, maybe this will be the opposite. Maybe I'll start lower on it, and as the more I think about it, and the more I go back and re-listen, I'll be like,
Let me know
get
what
higher
you
and higher on
think
it.
when you listen to it again, because I won't.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do like an in-depth dice.
Dude,
that would be
you
cool.
know what would have been so cool back in the olden days of taping? 44-minute Tweezer. It would have been one side of a tape. It would have been like the cool. You just would have wrote Tweezer real big on it.
Through a whole side.
You know what we should do? What do you think about doing like a in-depth breakdown of the jam and the segments and like charting it out and like doing a video, like actually getting into the different
Baseball
like
ricochet.
Yeah, like we could do like the different keys and like
What, do
tempos
you know any
and
of that?
really
Because
map it out.
Jason keeps saying that they changed keys and it was going to be a Tweezer reprise, and it was an instrumental Tweezer reprise, I think is what he's going to go with. And I
don't
can't
know.
tell they changed keys.
Well, we'll definitely talk to him because I'm not qualified to do all that jam analysis I was just promising. So first thing I'm going to do is find people that are qualified to
someone
do it.
that. and
Right?
then we'll talk to
There's that
them
famous
about it.
video, the Went Gin, the breakdown anatomy of a jam or whatever.
Yeah, that's a
pretty
Mark.
cool one.
He stopped making content though. I don't know. I think
Why?
I think it's either because he had a kid or because people were being assholes to him and he just didn't want to deal with it. Probably both. I mean, honestly, YouTube's filled with a lot of toxic people. None of you guys. Everyone watching tonight is fucking great, but like, there's also a lot of assholes out there. So I don't know, but
Are you waiting to see what I'm typing? That's funny. All right.
Good night,
Hey,
everybody. You're all assholes. Good
I was
night.
waiting to see if Kev was finished typing.
Somebody said that it would make a nasty cut, and I said you threw my soul on the end of the first set tape because it was only 76 minutes, and then you start your second set
You
with
could have
that.
just said that out loud. You didn't have to type it.
And type it.
I just
down.
had an urge to type. I was possessed by the spirit.
Yeah. You guys
All
wanna
right, so
get-
tomorrow night, I guess they're gonna phone it in.
Probably Tuesday night.
It's a Tuesday night.
Well, we'll be back here 15 minutes encore, and then Wednesday we got the lot. See you guys next time.
Monday.